6 chill, fool, for real, for real.
Judah, 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 Judah. Judah, 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 Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. I'm Judah. Christ sprang out of Judah. King David was Judah. King Asa was Judah. Don't crowd me up, who gon' rouse me up? Alistair Crowley, your time is up. It's a big mess, I gotta clean it up. Esau, the end of my kingdom's up. On the eagle's neck, I'll press. I woke up from my rest. I woke up from my arrest. My rulership is up next. No vex. Judah, 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 Judah. Judah, 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 Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave.
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
Welcome to class again with the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We're going to go ahead and get Shabbat class rolling. Almost Shabbat. Sun is almost down out here. Not quite yet, but we're going to go ahead and get class rolling and see if anybody has any questions before we head into class. All right. Once again, we're the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge, and we have a few locations doing our part to get the word out. The sister right here has the addresses up there, so if you're interested in getting classes, check out these different locations. If you are in a city that is not up there, still hit us up, because there's some brothers and sisters that we have in a few other little states, and we can link you up with them if you want to link up. All right. Check out Mashaba's Blog Talk Radio. This is another avenue that we get out the word. Blog Talk Radio /Mashaba. All right. And then we got our other channels. Please support those. Check those out. All right. If you want to check out our other topics, classes, subjects, we touch on a lot of things. Subscribe to our San Antonio channel. Subscribe to Houston channel. Houston channel has a lot of old classes. Questions we go over all the time. So in the middle of these classes, you'll be able to, well, I should say in the beginning of these classes, you get a lot of questions answered for y'all that are hungry. All right. Garments. If you are short on your apparel, you're short on your Israelite apparel, the sisters do a magnificent job, and they do the garments. All right, headbands, shirts, tunics, like the one I got on right now. This is a Passover garment, but if you look at it, the quality of work that you can get done is on a high level. All right, fringed up, you can go to isbhpk.com, check out our website, and then go to fringed up, and you can subscribe, get you a t-shirt, headband from fringed up. All right. If you want to join the Hebrew Academy, and you want to do a little bit more, and besides just watching videos online and classes, if you want to be a part, if you want to join the priesthood, you can feel free to hit us up and see how to get involved with the Hebrew Academy. All right. Then we have here my phone number and CHAAZAQYA's phone number. If you have any questions, you want counsel, remember, if you don't get hit back right away, don't panic. We're not trying to ignore you. We got a million things going on. So be patient, please. We also, our little business to help support the school, brothers, is sweetambiance.com. You can check that out. if you want to support that way. And then, of course, as far as the school giving alms, all that information is up there. And we thank all the brothers and sisters that continually support, help out the school, and give to the school. All right. So, yep, got that out of the way. I'll start out in here to see if anybody got any questions, and then we'll move to online. So, does anybody got any questions in here? La? All right. And then we'll go to online. I do have a question from yesterday that we were like in the motion of that class, and a question popped in outside of the class. Dang, I hope I didn't delete that. Question about the head covering. Question about the head covering. 1 Corinthians 11 verse 15. I guess this is an easy one. But a question no doubt. 1 Corinthians 11 15.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 15.
Uh-huh.
But if a woman have long hair, it is glory to her, for her hair is given for a covering.
Right. Now the question is, head covering. My head needs to be covered when praying and reading the Bible. So let's go up a little bit more. Go up a few verses in there. 1 Corinthians 11. Jump up to verse, you're going to jump up to verse 4. Right? I'll repeat the question again. It's about the head covering. My head needs to be covered when praying and reading the Bible? Question mark. So what verse are we going to go to? Verse 4. Go ahead.
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head.
Right. So a man, when we pray and when we prophesy, meaning teach, if we cover our head, covering our head is speaking of the middle portion right here. You don't supposed to have that covered. When the Bible tells you that your forehead bald, most bald people get bald here, right? So this is considered your head. So this is not. This is the size of your head. So we don't cover this portion of the head. As you see, the headband's open, the montazampas are open, or the turbans are open, right? Even though they don't look it, but when you look at the top of the turban, they cross, but it's open at the top. Okay? So when we pray and we prophesy, our head is not supposed to be covered. All right? So when you salute somebody, why do we take off our headpiece or whatever? Is because you're praying. It's a prayer. It's literally you asking the Most High to bless this person. So that's why you take off your headpiece as a man. So read on.
But every woman that prays or prophesies with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head.
So it's vice versa. The woman, she is supposed to cover her head, showing honor and respect and authority over herself. Right? Now if you say, well, I don't got a man. It doesn't. Your head, first and foremost, is the Most High. Right? That's your head. Right? And then that's what he's telling us about. And it goes down to your head being your husband. So you don't supposed to dishonor your head. Just like we don't supposed to dishonor our head, which is who? Yahushua. So yes, you're supposed to pray and pray, and when you're reading the prophesying, you got your head covered. All right? Go ahead.
For that is even all one as if she were shaven.
Right. So it's basically like as though she were shaven. So if she doesn't cover her head, basically, I know back in I should say this. In this time, her being shaven and bald is not a dishonor. But in the ancient days, that was a dishonor for a woman to be bald-headed. Right? So it's in your best, right, to lock into the Most High, have your head covered. All right? Because it's a dishonor to you if you don't cover your head. So yeah, that's what the scriptures is telling us. All right. So what else we got? Any other questions on there?
Nothing on mine, sir.
All right, I'm gonna give y'all a few seconds. Give y'all a few seconds on this. If not, we're gonna go into this class. See if brothers and sisters get on there. Pop in. Say that again? Oh, right. We got to start asking on Facebook. Our views don't really come in live on Facebook. They come in afterwards.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, check it real quick. See if anybody has any questions. Okay, so if nobody got any questions, I'm going to go into this. I was trying to give them a little bit of time on that. Nothing yet. All right, so remember, this topic that we're touching over, we've been hitting the whole Timothy's, but little by little, and talking about the bishop, the man, right? We've been really honing in on this topic of, so you want to be a teacher, so you want to be a leader, so you want to teach the word. So what is going to separate the bad example from the good example? What's going to separate the Israelite with the tunic, with his pants sagging, or the Israelite that is still trying to act like a man in the world, right? And carry himself like a man in the world from a priest? What's going to separate that, right? So one thing when you come into the truth, a lot of brothers feel, well, I watched a few street speakings, right? And I can relate the Bible, and now I'm a teacher, right? But that's not how it works. There is still a criteria, right? And we've been going through that criteria little by little, showing in every perspective and aspect that the Most High talks about in 1 Timothy 3, that there is a requirement. There has to be a requirement. We're going over a lot of the if you come to Sabbath class, we're going over a lot of the priesthood. And when you go over the priests of the ancients, there had to be a high level and a high standard and a high requirement. A lot of technicalities, right? Things that we read in the Levitical law, it was a lot of technicalities that you have to live up to, right? So that's what Timothy's is refreshing. It's not doing anything different than that was already said in the law. I love Timothy's because it's getting a little more specific. It's getting a little more specific in what the characteristic and how you have to carry yourself in the Bible. Y'all get that? So let's go back there. Go to Timothy's. Somebody's going to have to read. Yeah, get Timothy's 3. Go ahead.
This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1.
Right. Project your voice a little bit more. 1 Timothy 3 and 1. And we're not going through all of this. We've already hit on a lot of this. If you missed it, go to the channel and it says bishop. And then we go through blameless. We go through a husband of one wife. We go through vigilant. We go through sober. We go through all these things and all the way up till where we're verse 3 now. Start from verse 1. Go ahead.
This is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop,
right,
he desireth a good work.
Right. So if you desire the office of a bishop, a teacher, a leader, someone that is proclaiming the word of the Most High, you desire good work. The Most High said if you convert a sinner, you cover a multitude of sins. So is that not what we all want to do? But now, are you going to try to convert that person and at the same time destroy that person or damage that person through your example, through how you deal with them? Because your lack of learning and intelligence on how to teach, because there is a proper way, right? Because you don't want to do it the proper way, are you going to do more damage than more good to this individual? So this is what he's telling us here. If you desire the office, it is an office, right? You desire a good thing. Go ahead.
A bishop then must be blameless.
Right.
The husband of one wife. Vigilant.
Right.
Sober.
Right. Of
good behavior.
Right.
Given to hospitality.
Right.
Apt to teach.
Read.
Not given to wine.
So we've been over all these. Now we're at the point of not given to wine. Right? Now this is I know you would think this is a no-brainer, but it's really, really hard for a lot of men to not deal with their issues without popping a beer. A lot of Hebrew Israelite men, the way they deal with their problems, the way they deal with their day, the way they take a load off is through a nice Michelob Light, right? A nice 40 ounce, a nice, double shot of Hennessy or Cavassier on the rocks, right? A lot of brothers have this problem, right? And that's when you start going through these requirements. I mean, once again, this should be a no-brainer that if you're going to be a bishop, if you're going to be a teacher, you can't be given to wine. You can't be given to the liquor. And wine is always an influence. So we're going to be talking about liquor, but we're going to be talking about all influences, right? When you get pulled over, what do they say? And you were drinking. They said you were driving what? Under the influence, right? So we're not just going to be talking about the liquor. We're going to be talking about all the influences that men go to because they don't know how to handle their problems and deal with their issues, right? So read that. So it says not given to wine. So that's where we're at right now. And then next time we'll go to the note striker and we'll go through the Bible and we'll show through all the Bible what the Most High says about that. Right now we're going to show why this man wasn't supposed to be given to wine. Let's go to the most basic thing that you should understand as a Hebrew Israelite. You should understand this as a Hebrew Israelite. All the Sabbath keepers, right? You know what I mean? The ones that stand mightily for the Sabbath, but you're a damn drunk. Nah, the scriptures tell us how to drink. It tells us to drink in moderation. And you know why I'm quoting that? Because that's not the angle we're going in this class. We're going to what the Most High told the priests and how you were supposed to deal when it comes to liquor, right? So Leviticus 10 and 9. Let's go there.
Leviticus chapter 10 and verse 9.
Right, Leviticus 10 and 9. Read that.
Do not drink wine nor strong drink.
Right?
Thou nor thy sins with thee.
Nor thy sons with thee. Go ahead.
When ye go into the tabernacle of the congregation.
When you go into the tabernacle, you weren't supposed to be liquored up. You weren't supposed to be under the influence. So, if you come to learn the knowledge, you don't supposed to come to try to get the knowledge and come with a buzz, a high, right? Pop a pill to what? Take the load off, right? Pop a Molly, start sweating, right? You don't supposed to come to the tabernacle that way, right? So if you break your leg and you're on medication, you need to wait till after class to pop your medication. Don't pop it where you can zone out in class and be like, for sure, CHAAZAQYA, for bruh, I feel you, right? Nah, you're supposed to not drink, no pills, no liquor, because the spirit can't enter in. Now, this is the priest. Imagine me coming up here liquored up, you know what I mean, sipping while I'm teaching the word of the Most High. Y'all gotta see, you gotta be dumb as hell to think that is okay. The Most High told the priest, don't do this when you come into the tabernacle. So we ain't drinking like that. Our daily consumption of liquor, if we got classes Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, right? That means that I'm definitely not trying to have no drink. Being that I gave up liquor, but when I did drink, it was class days, I'm definitely not drinking. Then, outside of class days, you got to make your classes, right? You got to counsel. You got to be a husband. So what are you going to look like? You know what I mean? You know how Issachar like to do. They love their damn six-packs. They love their six-packs of damn, man, whack-ass white boy beer, right? MGB. A Bud Light. You know what I mean? They love that. Like the KKK beer, I call it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But they use that because I had a hard day at work. Now I got to go deal with my kids and my wife. But you going to just be red the whole time? They be flaring red. Why? Because they be high. They want to get through the night high. Y'all see that? So this is an error, especially us as priests. We supposed to know that I had to give that up. When it said you were blameless when we went over that class, I had to give that up, or else I'm going to come here. Imagine I come to the camp and after class you smell me and I smell like liquor because it's pouring through my pores. You're going to be like, what's up with this cat? You know what I mean? Like, when it's pouring through your pores, you got to get faded to be like that. It ain't just you popping a beer. So, he told the priest, don't go into the tabernacle of the congregation. Read.
Lest ye die.
Why? Why? Why would you die? Why would a person die? Anybody? We're going to get there. We'll answer the question. It says, read on.
It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations.
So that was the law throughout our generations. So I'll say it again. We're talking about these aspiring bishops, myself, teachers that are aspiring. You had to get rid of the liquor. You couldn't be a drunk You could not solve I can't solve my issues but with drinking and fighting, but then I want to be a teacher. It reminds me of the brother told me about this other camp. I'm like, bruh. He's like, yeah, he body slammed his rib. Why? Because cat is drinking so much, he can't control his anger. So you see why it says, "Lest ye die." We're going to go into that a little deeper too. Go to Ezekiel 44:21. 1 second. Ezekiel 44:21.
Ezekiel chapter 44 and verse 21.
Let me give you what I got.
Neither shall any priest drink wine when they enter into the inner court.
Right. No. Okay, read louder. I need some passion when y'all read, because it's very irritating to me when y'all don't have passion in your voice. Come on, give me some power.
Ezekiel chapter 44 verse 21.
Go ahead.
Neither shall any priest drink wine when they enter into the inner court.
So, if you, sis, you look up inner court of the tabernacle, and you put that up there, an image. That was literally when you walk in. So the inner court, you were not supposed to even enter the front door while you're fading. You understand that? While you're drinking. Well, I just had a drink. Then you weren't supposed to come. Because the Most High can't get through you. The Spirit can't get through you if you're drunk. If you're faded. Y'all understand that? If you're high, if you're on pills, if you're under the influence of anything, the Spirit can't get in. Like, think about it. It's already hard enough to get through your hard damn head. So imagine you coming in under the influence of pills, or liquor, or a blunt, right? Man, I was faded. Bro, the first day of class, I was faded. Yeah, because you think that's the way you're going to receive the spiritual realm. CHAAZAQYA's putting together a class on that. We haven't went over in a long time. But that's the problem. That we gotta tame these things of the flesh before we say, oh, you know what? I'm going to be a teacher. I'm going to be a leader. I want to be an example. Because if we don't, who are you going to look like, class? Nah, class. Who are you going to look like? I've been saying it all the time. Who are you going to look like, class?
The churches.
The what?
The churches.
Say it again.
The churches.
Oh, y'all ain't here? You trying to act like you ain't here or something? I'm going to ask y'all again. Who do you look like?
Churches.
Right. So if you don't tame these things, you're going to look like the churches. And that's where you see a lot of these young men, young brothers, young sisters too. Because you as an elder woman, you can't be coming around. Well, that's brothers. Well, but you could just dip through faded. You know what I mean? You could, y'all always want to hook up the mimosas. Nah, there's a time for all things. We're going to find that out. So I want you to read that Ezekiel 44:21 again.
God, neither shall any priest drink wine when they enter into the inner court.
You weren't supposed to drink wine when you go into the inner court. Go ahead.
Neither shall they take for their wives and widows.
Okay, go from there. Go to Proverbs 31:4. So this is the thing that we were warned not to do. For all the lawgivers and keepers, there is the law. In the Levitical law, we weren't supposed to do that. I'm going to say it again. You weren't supposed to come under the influence of anything. If it was liquor, that didn't mean, but I could be high off of the Xannies. Nah. You weren't supposed to do that. You understand? I could come high off a blunt. You weren't even supposed to do that anyway. So this is what the Most High is showing us. Read Proverbs 31:4.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 31. 31 and verse 4. It is not for kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for the princes strong drink.
Read it again.
It is not for the kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink.
Right, so it wasn't for them, but the reason why is going to tell us. They're walking in right now. They were going to tell us why it wasn't for them. Why wasn't it for them? Was it that they could never drink? What was the reason? Read that.
Lest they drink and forget the law and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted.
What? Oh. Hold on 1 second now. Okay, so read it again.
Lest they drink and forget the law.
Right, so the point was for you not to drink and forget the law. And when you look at these cats trying to drink and teach, you know what I mean? They're forgetting the law. The law said don't do it. Right? You come high as hell in class. That's not what the Most High wants. You forget the laws. You forget how to carry yourself. You forget how to act. You forget how to carry or watch how you talk. Watch how you deal. So the warning was, it wasn't that kings didn't drink at all. Don't be naive. David drank, Solomon drank. But he was saying when you deal with judgment, when you deal with wisdom, when you deal with the laws and commandments, you weren't supposed to come before the nation drunk as hell being a drunkard. And I'm going to say it again, not even a buzz. The law said if you even drank, don't even come in the sanctuary, right? So don't say, well, it's just a buzz. Nah. So that means that you don't supposed to be drinking on days that you come to class. So you got to see how brothers and sisters are really be off of this. This is something that you have to let go. When it says I put away childish things, you have to put this away. Before you get up and teach on the street, you have to put that away. Because why? Your kids are going to look at you as a what?
An example.
Right? So if they see you drinking, what are they going to look at you as?
That's the way that's supposed to do, that you're supposed to do it.
Right, that's the way you're supposed to do it. They're going to look at you as a drunkard, right? If you come home every day after work, after the camp, and pop a beer, what is your son's going to see? What is your wife going to see? What example are they going to look at? They're going to look at that you are a drunk. Y'all see that? So this is why it says a bishop must not be given to wine. Right? Come on in. Come on in. There's seats up here. You can. Somebody can give your rib seat back there with the kids. All right. Yeah. So where are we at right now?
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 31 and verse 5.
Proverbs 31 and 5. Okay, go from there. So read 5 again, and then somebody else get me, CHAAZAQYA, get me Proverbs 20 verse 1.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 31 and verse 5.
Go ahead.
Lest they drink and forget the law.
Right?
And pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted.
You see that? So why does the Most High say that a bishop wasn't supposed to be given to wine? Lest he do what?
Pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted.
You see that? Now you're not clear-minded. Go from there. Go to Wisdom of Solomon. Let me throw this one in. Which way? Go to Wisdom of Solomon real quick before we get to this Proverbs. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 1. I'm going to show y'all something. Why it says pervert judgment. What happens when you got a brother that's a drunk? First of all, y'all know what happens when a cat's drunk all the time. What does it do to him? Anybody know? Damn, none of y'all been in here drunk? Nobody? Y'all gonna get me. None of y'all been drunk. No, hold on a second. I'm asking y'all. Have any of y'all been drunk? Okay, then when I ask y'all a question, answer. Like, y'all here? Come on, what the hell? You looking at me like I'm crazy? Like, y'all know what happens when you get drunk. Don't act like you ain't been drinking before. What happens when you get drunk, sis? Go ahead.
Causes you not to be like vigilant.
Right, cause you not to be vigilant. What else?
You can't like judge stuff correctly.
You can't judge correctly. What else?
You become a marker.
You become a what?
Like
No, what did you say, sis?
you become a marker.
Marker? No. We're gonna go there. That's not what it's saying. What is it?
You become,
Stand up.
You become loose. You basically do things that you wouldn't do.
There you go. You become loose. You things you wouldn't necessarily do. What happens when you get a little liquor in you? Now imagine doing that teaching. Imagine doing that counseling. Like if I was counseling you and I was drinking liquor. I'm going to say things that will probably not needed to be said. I'm going to do things. So this is what happens when, think about all the young men that haven't grown past, you know what, let me leave the liquor alone. Right? Let me solve my problems through drinking. What are they going to do when it comes to judgment, leadership, anger, when it comes to solving their issues? So this is what the problem is with the liquor, man. A lot of brothers, I'm going to say it again. I know I'm touching on giving to wine, but remember, wine is an influence. So we're talking about wine and we're talking about the influence of any drug or substance. Now, this is why I wanted you to get that Wisdom of Solomon. What is it? 1 and verse 4? Right, go ahead, read that.
Wisdom of Solomon 1 and verse 4.
Right.
For into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter.
Right, so wisdom is not going to enter into a malicious soul or wicked soul. You're not going to receive what you're being given if you are under the influence. Right? That's why a lot of these cats that did, I'm not going to say all of them, because how many of y'all came to class, your first class, high as hell? Who else? It wasn't just her. Come on. Who else came high to class? All right, it wasn't your first class. What class was it? Nobody?
I was watching on the internet. I was high.
You was watching on the internet high as hell, right?
Con.
But you felt like you was receiving the spirit, huh?
Con.
What happened when you get high? What happened when you got high and you was watching class? How did it feel?
Weird. I felt like I was kind of doing something wrong. Like this didn't mix.
Really?
Con. At first it was like I'm getting close to God, right?
Right.
But the more they kept bringing precepts out about how it was wrong, the more I smoked, the more I felt bad about smoking.
See, but your conscience was convicting you, right? How many brothers and sisters, their conscience don't convict them? They think they're actually connecting to the spirit by smoking, by doing drugs, by drinking. You see that? They think they're connected to that. So that's why it's important for brothers to do fast a lot. Because you got to break that wheel. You know, and we're talking about liquor, bringing it back to the actual wine. Because we know wine is lawful. It's lawful to drink wine. It's lawful to drink strong drink. But you weren't supposed to be given to it. That's why a bishop wasn't supposed to be given to it, meaning that the way he deals with his issues and his problems and his emotions is what? He's given to wine. You see that? So read that one more time.
Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 4. For into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter.
Right. It's not going to enter into you. You're not going to get wiser just because you're more faded or your ambitions are now loose, right? You think you're dealing with your subconscious. You're not dealing with your subconscious. You're dealing with your sub-mind, your baser instinct. Go ahead.
Nor dwell in the body that is subject to sin.
Yeah, I got so many scriptures, but you're a person that's subject to constantly sin and negative, it's not going to be part of you, the Holy Spirit. So you don't receive it. Now, that's a person who's drunk while receiving the word. But what are we talking about? What are we talking about here today? Shawashana. A person who's drinking while teaching. A person who's faded while teaching. Now, how many of these young brothers, man, you see that you could tell, oh man, this dude's lips is still black as hell. Right? They're still wanting to come around and teach the word of the Most High. Or right after you teach, you what? You got to get faded. Right? Nah, man, that's how the white man, that's Al Bundy syndrome. You remember Al Bundy? Huh? He had to deal with, you don't remember that? Well, he had to deal with his family with liquor all the time. He had to deal with his daughter and his wife and his son by taking the load off with drinking. So that's the childish mentality, man. So you finished that, right? Go ahead. Go back to, let's go to Proverbs 20, verse 1.
Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Wine is a mocker.
Right.
Strong drink is raging.
Right. So wine is a mocker. That's why. Wine is a mocker. You can't be drinking and teaching. Right? It's going to make you look foolish. It's going to make you look stupid. Right? You're the one that's going to be mocked. If you can't receive it while under the influence, how about you teaching it? That's just insane. So wine is a mocker. Go ahead.
Strong drink is raging.
Right. Strong drink is raging. Con. Go ahead.
And whosoever is deceived thereby.
Whosoever is what?
Deceived thereby.
So what is the theme with liquor and being under the influence of things? It's a deception. You're stronger, right? You more smart now.
It's called alcohol purge.
Right.
You got alcohol purge now. Liquor purge.
You're more in tune now, right? That's when you're supposed to be more in tune. Like you can see things better now, right? But in actuality, it's the opposite. This is when you start to lose those senses. Now, all those drunk drivers that ran into a wall, that ran into a pole, that ran into somebody and killed somebody's family member, they were saying to themselves, what? I got this. But all their ambition, their physical, what is it? Their mental, cognitive
awareness
functions, it's gone. So this is why the Most High said, as a bishop, you can't be given to that, because if that's still pulling you, then the Spirit is not pulling you. The Most High is not pulling you. Where are you at,
Proverbs.
No, go ahead. Read it one more time. Where you want to get at?
Proverbs chapter 23, verse 21.
Right.
Wine is a mocker. Strong drink is raging. And whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise.
Go ahead.
Proverbs 23 and 21.
Oh, that was mine. 20, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm done with that. Go ahead.
For the drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty.
So if you're giving yourself constantly over to the wine as your source of, as your rescue, as your lifeline, then that's going to bring you to a poverty. You're not relying on the Most High to bring you out of a bad situation. You're relying on the Bible.
Right. We're going to get to that point. I didn't want you to jump there yet, as of yet. All right. So if that's where you're going with that, hold that. I want you to go to Ecclesiastes 31. We're going to get there. That's why I sent you to class. Go ahead, read that. Proverbs, Ecclesiastes 31 and 31.
Ecclesiastes 31 and verse 31.
So for y'all that missed it, man, we're talking about, first of all, we hit on the law. The Most High told us in the law that a priest wasn't to come into the sanctuary drunk, right? We hit that Leviticus 10 and 9. Then we went to Ezekiel 44:21 to further edify in the law that the priests were not to enter into the inner court under any circumstance under the influence. Then the Most High told a king, Lemuel, which was Solomon, right? Listen, don't deal with this liquor because it will pervert your judgment, right? In Proverbs 31, 4 and 5. Then we touched on 20 and 1, that wine is a mocker. What's your question, sis?
You said Ezekiel what?
Ezekiel 44:21. Okay, so where are we at right now?
Ecclesiastes 31 and verse 31.
Go ahead.
Rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine.
Now think about it. I want y'all to really think about this one. Why I put this one here. Right? Wine is a mocker, right? So we weren't supposed to rebuke somebody at the wine. What does that mean? Who knows? Go ahead, Matea.
It's like you're not supposed to start an argument or anything with them. Like you can't disagree with them or anything.
Okay, what does rebuke mean? Because it don't, what you just said there is bad understanding. If you told somebody that, that's going to lead them the total wrong way to go about that. So you got to break the scripture down. What is rebuke?
Rebuke is to correct somebody in a stern fashion.
Right. So rebuking is correcting somebody. So now you got a brother or sister that overdid it. They're totally off. They're acting a fool. What were we supposed to do at that time? Try to teach them. That's a person that's faded. That's a person that's drunk. Well, what about a person that's teaching drinking? If that's a person that's faded, you weren't supposed to say nothing to them. How much more a person that's teaching? So this is what it means by wine is a mocker. Like you're not gonna be right because all of a sudden the words of the Most High is coming out of your mouth, but you're drunk. And that's what happens with a lot of people, you know, whether it's vice versa or you're trying to correct this person that is faded. You can't correct them. They don't want to hear you, right? And they probably gonna forget about it anyway. They're not gonna really understand what went on that night, depending on how faded they are. So think about that. That's a person that was drinking. How about a brother that's teaching? So you got to see the common sense of this. While the Most High said for us to stay away from that liquor. Like I said, you young priests, if you're desiring to be a bishop, then your daily motivation cannot be, I got to move through the city with a buzz. You know what I mean? That's what gets me. That's what gets me through my day. That's what gets me through my life. Because you haven't let go of those carnal things. A buzz don't supposed to get you through the day. The Spirit's supposed to. So read on. Read that one more time.
Rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine, and despise him not in his mirth.
Right. So you weren't supposed to rebuke him at the wine. How much more to teach at the wine? So the scriptures is showing us. Go there. Go to Ecclesiastes 10 verse 19.
Con.
Ecclesiastes 10 and 19. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 19.
Uh-huh.
A feast is made for laughter,
Go ahead.
and wine maketh merry.
So, why would I drink wine when I'm teaching? You know what I mean? Why? I'm already a happy guy when I'm teaching the word of the Most High. Why would I need liquor? Wine is for a feast. Wine is to make you merry. Every time ain't no damn feast. Y'all see that? And that's what a lot of young men, young brothers and sisters don't know. That wine is not for every season. So wine is to make you merry. It's for a feast. Go ahead.
But money answereth all things.
Okay, that's going into something else. So read it again.
A feast is made for laughter,
Uh-huh.
and wine maketh merry.
Go ahead.
But money answereth all things.
But money answereth all things, right? So the Most High is showing us, man, wine wasn't made for the time just every day for you to get through life. It was made for feasts, right? You at the dinner table, you eating, right? Your digestive system to percolate that. You're going through hard times, right? But if you're going through hard times and you can't deal with your mental issues through the Spirit, why are you up there on the podium? Why are you street speaking? Why? You're not helping yourself. How could you help anybody else? Think about it. If you can't help yourself through your issues, how could you help somebody else? So go to Ecclesiastes. Go to Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1. So wine is for a feast. That's why the Most High said, man, you don't supposed to come in the sanctuary. You don't supposed to do the priestly duties under the influence. You don't supposed to do the priestly office under the influence. Go ahead, where you at?
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1. To everything there is a season.
Right?
And a time to every purpose under the heavens.
So now what we should be getting is understanding this. If you're going to do the service and duty of a priest, why are you liquored up? This is why the Most High said you can't be given to wine. Right? Because you are doing one job to teach your nation. If you're trying to counsel a brother or sister, right? How could I be given to wine when I need a counsel? If you're trying to guide your family, your household, how are you going to be given to this wine? How is wine, liquor, the influence of pills, the influence of any substance going to control you? And that's what the Most High is showing us, man. A lot of brothers and sisters, the bad example is because of these things. When they look at us in the streets, they see that. When brothers are passing out flyers and smelling like blunts and cigarettes and liquor, you are making the word look bad. You are doing what Christianity is doing, the same exact thing. So, once again, for y'all that didn't catch it, everything we're going over about the bishop, we've been going tit for tat, everything all the way up to this point about wine. And what are all things in common when you go to this subject about being a bishop? That you had to live up to a standard. If you were no standard, then you need to step down and be taught again. Because you have to know what is required. And think about it. Isn't this a small one? There's a time for all things. You don't know that? That liquor's for a feast? Not for you to be on the podium teaching and drunk when you come to class? When you teach out there in the street? Right? You got to drink the night before. You got to drink Sabbath night. And know damn well you got to get up in the morning for Sabbath morning class. Then you got to go street speak. How does that make sense? You see that? And how we do it back in the days, man. I remember one time my dad was like, okay, y'all want to drink? Go ahead and drink. He got them up at 6 a.m. and made them run up a mountain. 6 a.m. You know, there was throw up all the way going up the mountain. Because you know how Israel, we could drink. And back in those days, cats was still trying to drink what? 8 balls, right? 4 locos. See, you got to see that it's not going to help you. But guess what? After that, those brothers learn, listen, we don't need to be drinking when we need to be doing the duties of the Most High. So y'all got to get your priorities right, man. And is this not what a elder, a leader, a elder sister should know? Same thing for the sisters. So don't try to act like this ain't talking to you women, because I'm going to say it again. Every time don't supposed to be every sister meeting. Oh, you know what? We got to get the mimosas. We got to get the
little cocktails.
Yeah, the cocktails.
Little Long Islanders and stuff.
Nah, bruh. You wait till you get home. You wait till you with your husband to do that. Right? You wait till a feast to do that. Now's not the time. Read it one more time.
To everything there is a season.
Uh-huh.
And a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Right.
A time to be born.
Right.
And a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up.
And this is what a lot of young men don't know. A lot of young sisters don't know. It's a time for everything. It's a time to plant and it's a time to pluck up. You got to know what to plant in, and you got to know how to start ripping stuff out. Read.
Time to pluck up that which is planted.
Go ahead.
A time to kill.
A what?
A time to kill.
We got to know when is the time to kill. It's not now. It's not time to kill now. Read.
And a time to heal.
And a time to heal. Right now is the time to heal. Go ahead.
A time to break down.
Right.
And a time to build up.
Yeah, you got to know, man. When you're dealing with certain individuals, you're trying to console when you need to be breaking that spirit down. You need to be rooting out those demons, not consoling them, not making them feel good about the demons they got on them. But everything when becoming a leader, a bishop, a man of wisdom and understanding, you have to know the timing on when things need to be applied. It's all about timing. With everything. You see that? And that's why I was telling us earlier, rebuke not a person at the wine. That drinking is for a feast. Go ahead.
A time to weep.
Uh-huh.
And a time to laugh.
Right.
A time to mourn. And a time to dance.
Right. See, it's a time to weep and a time to what?
A time to laugh.
Right. Every time you deal with the Christians, somebody hit me up last weekend. She was like, well, do y'all praise the Lord? I'm like, yeah, we praise the Lord. But we praise the Lord after class. Not in the middle of class. They want the whole ceremony to be you dancing and singing. It's not time for that. It's time to be taught. Then after we can pray. You want to dance, you want to sing, that's all fine. But there's a time for all things. Y'all see this? It's not time for you to come to class drunk. You got a drinking problem. Why the hell you don't know it's time to put that away? It got power over you. Why you don't know it's time for you to leave that alone? Because a lot of young brothers and sisters don't have discretion, discernment. So they don't know when, damn, I need to leave this stuff alone. It got to rule over me. Every time I'm punching into the wall, I'm going to court, I choked her out. You see that? Why? Because you don't know this thing has rule over you. So you don't know what time it is. Go ahead.
A time to cast away stones.
Right. What verse are you at?
Verse 5.
Okay, that was it on that. So you wanted to bring one. Where you at? Where you at right now?
St. John chapter 4, verse 34.
No, don't go there. Go to Isaiah 28 and 7. Go to Isaiah 28 and 7. Go ahead, read that.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 28 and verse 7.
You didn't get the text.
But they also have erred through wine.
Right?
And through strong drink are they out the way.
Right. So, what is a lot of brothers and sisters' problem? Because they don't know timing, they what? They err. They don't know when to drink. They don't know how to control the drink. The drink controls them. The liquor, the pills, right? The partying, right? You're trying to balance out your anxiety, right? Get your mind off of your woes. But you should know that that's not going to help. When has liquor or ignoring the problem ever helped? I don't understand that about drunks, dope heads, weed heads. I don't understand it. I'm like, you still got the same problems right after. And if anything, now you broke and you got more problems. So how's it helping? How? Why is that the logic? Because they haven't learned how to deny these things in the flesh. That's why it's the logic. You haven't seen that thing you're giving your spirit to is corrupting you, is destroying you. Right? Some of them like pain. You like suffering. But what the Most High said, if you want to be a priest, he said you can't be given to wine. You can't be given to that mentality. Go ahead.
The priest and the prophet have erred.
Right?
Strong drink.
They err. Their brothers err, sisters err, because you think the influence is going to build you. It's going to help you. That's your problem. Your go-to is supposed to be the spirit, the word. Go ahead.
They are swallowed up of wine.
Right?
They are out the way through strong drink.
And that's why the scripture says if you want to be a bishop, you have to understand that you can't be given to wine. Now, I learned it's not only about wine. If you understand that concept, I understood, it can't be about too much of anything. Right? Now, we talking in the law. For y'all cats that's still getting high, popping pills and doing all that, you already condemned. The Most High is already going to destroy you. Because you think those drugs is the way to whatever problem. You condemning yourself. I'm talking about people that drink and know it's okay to drink in moderation, but use these things to subside your so-called problems. Right? It never helps, man. And it's destroyed the body. There's a school that drinks while they teach. They drink liquor as they teach. I'm like, what the hell? Did they not read this? Let me guess, because they're not in the sanctuary of Moses? Is that what it was? That's why it is? You're not in the sanctuary. They didn't understand that it was about teaching the word of the Most High. They think, we're not in the sanctuary, so I can be drunk. You big dummy. You don't understand that what is still happening, what is coming out of your mouth? The laws and oracles of the Most High. So why would you be teaching drunk as hell? Faded. Get in a buzz. Then, if you see me doing that, what are you going to be thinking? What?
You're going to be thinking it's okay as well.
Right, but what are you thinking? Like, if I'm teaching you the word, and I'm giving you the knowledge to fix your problems, and you drinking, what am I telling the people? What?
No, you're gonna be thinking that he's drunk and he probably don't know what he's talking about.
Okay. This cat don't know what he's talking about. That's a good one. He's drunk as hell, man. This dude don't know what he's saying. Or you're going to be thinking, man, how is it that what he's teaching is stronger than what's in the bottle?
Okay. Yeah. That's where his power resides.
If his power was in the word, why is he drinking? Because you ain't drinking liquor to sit up there and drink like it's water. Let's not play. After you drink, I don't care what type of mighty man you are, you sip a little 2 or 3 hour class, you're going to be faded somewhere within that. That is crazy, man. And that is not the example that the Most High wanted us to set. Let's finish that.
They err in vision.
They what?
Err in vision.
Read.
They stumble in judgment.
And that's what happens when you're under the influence of things. Your vision, your perception, your judgment becomes off. Go to 1 Peter 4 and 3. 1 Peter 4 and 3. Hold on 1 second.
1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 3. For the time past of our life, we may suffice.
No.
Sorry. For the time past of our life may suffice us
right
to have wrought the will of the Gentiles.
You see that? So check this out. So in the time past, you have walked a life that the Gentiles told you to walk, right? That's where we all come from. We come from the world. You did the things in the world. But what are these things we did in the world? Go ahead.
When we walk in lasciviousness.
When you walk in what?
Lasciviousness.
See, when you walked in the flesh, you did the will of the Gentiles. Being that bishop, that leader, that man is supposed to be an example, the one that's blameless, right? You already did the will of the Gentiles. Well, what was some of the will of the Gentiles? Go ahead.
Lust.
What?
Lust.
And that's where it comes down to. You're not remembering that a lot of those things is your lust. When you can't control it and it overcomes you, it's your lust. It's not the lust of the Most High or desire of the Most High. That's your lust, your flesh. Go ahead.
Excess of wine.
What?
Excess of wine.
Right. You did that. So how is it you coming to the truth, you're still doing the things that you did in the world? The lust of the flesh, the excess wine. Because you never let it go. Y'all do know there's a thing, putting old cloth on new garment. There is a thing that a man and a woman coming in the truth, they're called hypocrites. We got to stop acting like everybody that can spit the word, that they can't be hypocrites. They can. If you're speaking against the things you're doing. So the scriptures is showing us you did that. Why are you still doing it? Why are you still tapping into these things? Because you've never let them go. And what did I tell y'all when we started going over this bishop thing? When we started going over the character of a bishop, it was the elder's job to see that. He was able to see, you know what? SHAQAT, he got a drinking problem. He doesn't. If this brother had a drinking problem, I was supposed to look at him and say, yeah, you got a drinking problem, huh? You can't sit up here. Why? Because if you sit up here and you start teaching, you're going to sound good. You're going to be eloquent. But then you're drunk. What are the brothers and sisters going to say? They're going to say, there's no standard. And that's what we're seeing now. When you look through this, through the bishop, through the characteristics and standard of a bishop, there's no standard no more. Why? Because you got men making their own standard. There's no damn standard. So what do we have to do? We have to do what Paul said, prove them. Right? We got to know that this brother doesn't got, he's up here because he doesn't have a problem with drinking. He's not a drunk. He's very sober-minded, very aware. And guess what? How he solves his issues. It's not through liquor. You see that? But why isn't brothers coveting those gifts? Why would they go to the man or the woman that's a damn drunk, lazy-minded, self-willed, angry all the time, bitter? You see what's going on here? Our people love to covet the worst gifts, but the best gifts, they won't be like, man, this guy's disciplined. I need to be disciplined. I need to put away that. Oh, you fasted how many days from liquor? 3 months? Oh, dang, I'm going to do that. You got control of it that way? But nobody's looking at those things and saying, man, that's the standard of a true teacher, a true example. It's like, oh, that's just what he do. That's just him. That's how he roll. That's how y'all play it off so you won't see the good qualities that the Most High said supposed to be in us. Oh, that's that brother. That's how he rolls with his house. Like, what are you talking about? There's a standard in everything. There's a standard in everything. But that's what he does in his house. No, that's what the scriptures say, how to guide your house. How to deal with yourself. How to deal with your kids. How to deal with your mind. And if you're not learning that from the standards of a bishop, you miss something. Because going from the beginning of this chapter, 1 Timothy 3, it was all the things you did opposite you had to do. Right? So if you thought you could come in and be a man of more than one woman and chase women, it said be a man of one wife. If you thought you could just act anyway and not be blameless, you had to live up to a standard. Right? So you go through these lists and you start seeing, wait a minute, damn, there's more requirements. So I don't want y'all to get mad when you're required. When a brother sees the error in your spirit and saying, nah, you're giving to wine. Oh, it's not wine? Oh, you're giving to women. Right? Yours is lust, Oh, you're giving to this, This is more powerful to you than the will of the Most High. It's up for you to see that. Where we at? Go ahead, read on. 1 Peter's.
Revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatry.
Yeah, revelings, partying, and banqueting. Partying and clubbing, right? You did that. So why you still want to feel like you're still in that mode of, you know what, I don't want to feel like I'm restricted or locked down. What are you talking about? The scriptures say you're a prisoner. That's exactly what you're supposed to feel. Esdras came back and said that you were supposed to practice abstinence. But you don't want to feel like that. So what do? You still want to tap into that mode. It's not unlawful to drink, but you trying to drink every damn day. We got things to do. We got work to do. Go ahead.
Wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them.
Right, so that's it on that. So you was going to bring that one. Which one you were going to bring?
Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 11.
Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 11. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink.
Why is there indestruction? Because the first thing you got to do, you feel to start your day, to kickstart your spiritual walk, is to open up a drink, toss a cold one back real quick. Your end is going to be destruction. Why? Because you're not leaning onto the Spirit. This bishop, when they wake up in the morning, has to be predicated, clear, and focused on the job at hand, which is caring for the flock, watching out for the Most High's people. And you can't do that when you're stumbling in your judgment of thought. Mm-hmm. Anything that's going to take away from your clear judgment on how to better watch the sheep of the Most High's people is going to hinder you.
And that goes to when it goes into him taking care of his own house, he never learned that at home. And that's what I was saying earlier, is that what happens is the reason why it's so easily for this man to take that bad attribute and move it to the priesthood, because he never learned it at home.
Right.
To say, you know what, damn, I'm coming in and every time I gotta have a drink because my head start hurting when she start talking. When the kids start wanting this and that, I can't deal with it. So what I gotta do? I gotta walk around with that buzz through the household. And that's the issue. That's the problem, man. You waking up to it. Right? Throwing it in your coffee. That's hardcore. You doing that. Well, read it again.
Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink.
And you know, a lot of our people, they do that. I talked to this guy in the mall one day, and the mall, this is when the mall used to open up at 10 o'clock in the morning. This was during the holiday, so it opened up at 8. His eyes were bloodshot red, and I was like, bro, did you have a late night? He was like, nah, that's the first thing I do. I take a triple shot of Hennessy. I said, wait a minute, what? He was like, that's how I got to get my day started, man. My life was hard. I said, well, it can't be that hard, but, and the problem is, the reason why this was his answer, and a lot of us use that as an scapegoat, Israel use that as an scapegoat, is because they're too weak-minded. You don't have the crutch, which should be the scriptures, to get you out of your hard scenarios.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so what do you have to resort to? You have to resort to a vice because you're too weak in the mind to deal with something. The Most High already knows you're weak in the mind, but that's why he left you a comfort. Because that's supposed to comfort you in your weak times.
Right.
Not the alcohol, not the pills, not the excess of sex or video games, anything to black out and get dismal and erase the thing that you have to deal with right then and there. It's supposed to always be the scripture.
Yeah. Yeah, you done with that?
No.
Go ahead.
That continue until night.
So yeah, you wake up drinking, but then you still go to bed and you're still drinking. Your insides are shriveled up as heck, man.
Right, and can I get this Exodus 20:3? Why?
Zion, why?
Zion, why? Because you got to see that it's what you just said. It's what AHRAYAH just said. Read that.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
And that's what you don't get. No, read it again.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
This is what you don't get. You got another power that's ruling you, not the Most High. You got another God ruling you, not the Most High. And that's the problem. A bishop is supposed to know the greatest commandment is have no other gods before you.
That's right.
Have no other powers before you. So a man that's given to wine that hasn't learned that, he's given that power over him. What does that mean? What happens when you put him in a position? What happens when you put her in a position? There's something that's going to come in. It can be money. It can be women. It could be a lust of the flesh. It could be something they're doing on the low that's going to pervert their judgment. That's why he was like, look, don't deal with these things. Don't touch them. Don't taste them. Don't mess with them. You see that? Because your only power, the only thing that's supposed to have a power over you is the fear of the Most High. So, you see why a young man, he had to let go of the drinking problem, the pill popping problem, right? He had to let that go before you. I don't give a damn how many tests, how smart he was. I don't care if he's articulate than a mug. I mean, catch, oh, he's a good speaker, right? So what? But this cat doesn't know how to carry himself. She doesn't know how to deal. She wants to deal with her problems the wrong way. You can't put her in this position because she's going to tell and teach the sisters to be that way. It's the same thing, man. Read it one more time, and then somebody give me Psalms 29 and 2.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
That's Exodus 20 and 3. Go to Proverbs 29 and 2. Oh, hold that. Go to, go ahead.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 24.
Come.
And this is to understand that the Most High said you can't, this is why you can't have no other powers before me. Why? What's going to be the end result? Read.
Matthew 6 and 24. No man can serve two masters.
Because you can't serve the bottle and then serve the Most High at the same time. You can't serve your vices and the Most High at the same time. Something's got to give. You're going to be a servant to one, and you're going to hate the other. Go ahead.
For either he will hate the one and love the other.
Right. Go read it one more time.
For either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other.
And what happens? What happens when you have that vice? You start despising the truth. You get angry at them that try to what? Cleanse you. Right? Wash you. Set you apart for the Most High. Oh, you trying to change me. Right? Oh, then it goes into, oh, he just don't like me. No, we don't like your drinking problem. No, we don't like the demon you got on you, your lust problem. No, it ain't got nothing to do with you. But that's what happens when you have another God before you. It's more powerful than the brotherhood. It's more powerful than your kids. And y'all know what happens when you come to these addictions, right? Bro, you don't give a damn about your own kids. How many mothers done abandon their kids for crack, for dope, for coke, for coke and weed? I don't know. Has somebody given up their kids for a sack of weed? they might as well act like it. I wasn't gonna throw that one in there. I was like, wait a minute. Has somebody really sold their kids for a sack of weed? They act like it. They act like they would do it. But it's those things, man, that pervert judgment. You can't put those people in positions, man. Why? Those things are going to kill everybody else around them. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, sometimes my mom used to get the packs of cigarettes over getting some food for us, you know.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Get to those Coors 100s. You know what I mean? Back in the 80s, that's what my mom used to smoke. The Coors 100s, menthols. I had to put my head out the window. It was so disgusting. I can smell it right now. That's how traumatized I am. Serious, it's disgusting. That's why I never can deal with cigarette smoke. But what happens, man, is those things are more powerful. Your teeth can be yellow. Your fingers can be yellow. I remember her fingers were all yellow. And this was for the Coors 100s. Right? But that was more important, like you said. That was more important than, she'd have to do that. I remember me eating a lot of damn ramen noodles. But you got your pack of cigarettes. You know?
They be paying for the cigarette. We was going to the mall the other day. This guy that comes by the car. He walked up and it looked like he found $100 bill on the ground the way he moved.
Yeah.
And it was a little stogie end of a stogie of somebody's cigarette. Picked it up and lit it real quick, like he was just the best thing. Oh my! Wow, this dude.
So you're a fiend for a damn booty, the booty of a cigarette.
Yeah.
But these are the things, man, that corrupt us because they're put before the Most High. You see why we're not going to have no excuse when it comes to judgment? Because you knew that you weren't supposed to have no other gods before you. But you put these things before the Most High. So that was perfect. No man can serve two masters. Did you finish that?
last precept.
Uh-huh.
Ye cannot serve God and mammon.
Right. And then it goes into the money. Right? You can't serve, whatever it is. Nothing can be put before the Most High. Go to Psalms 29 and 2.
Psalms chapter 29 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
Give unto the Lord the glory due
Read it one more time. All right.
Give unto the Lord the glory due unto his name.
Right. That the glory is supposed to be to the Most High, not to a bottle. It's supposed to be to the will, submitting your will to the Creator, not to the Most High. You better give the glory to the Most High, man. You know he said he's a jealous God. You know what that means? That means when he sees you put things before him, that's why he starts letting your own corruption consume you. That's why he lets that happen, man. So once again, we're going over a bishop and why it says in Timothy 3, a bishop can't be a man that's given to wine. Because those things put before the Most High. I mean, if you're going to put a bottle before the Most High, you'll put the congregation before that. You know what I mean? If you're going to put a bottle before the Most High, you're going to put anybody before your vice. Or your vice before anybody. Excuse me. Read.
Worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness.
Yeah, you're supposed to be worshiping the Most High, man. You're not supposed to have any other gods before you. Go from there. Go to 1 Esdras 3 verse 18. So this second point, if y'all don't see it by now, that Exodus 23, we're showing that if a bishop lets his vices overcome him, then his power is not going to be the Most High. So read that. 1 Esdras 3 and 18.
1 Esdras 3 and 18.
Uh-huh.
And he said thus, O ye men, how exceeding strong is wine.
Uh-huh.
It causeth all men to error that drink it.
You see that? It causes you the error. So you got to know how to control these things. That's why it says, go to
1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 12.
Check this out.
1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 12.
Go ahead.
All things are lawful unto me.
It's okay to drink. It's okay to drink. But you see what all the thieves are telling us about liquor. Right? It's telling us, man, they cause men to err. Wine is a mocker. And I see, you know why it's about on wine? Because you're not supposed to do these other things, so what do brothers do? Oh, it's okay to drink. I can do this, so now I can do it in excess. To where you stumbling, you mumbling. Right? You're hurting people. And then you got to apologize. There's a lot of apology happening, man. Right? Read that again.
All things are lawful unto me.
Go ahead.
But all things are not expedient.
But all things are not expedient. Because it's not expedient when you brawling. It's not expedient when, watch, go there. Where's that at? Go there real quick. Go to Ecclesiasticus. It's Ecclesiasticus, we got to throw that one in there. Might as well. And we did a drinking class. I mean, many a times, but I definitely want to touch on this one. Yeah, it's Yeah, but it's, you could pull that one real quick, but it's the one I'm wanting is where it says he began to brawl. Where's that one at?
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 31, verse 25.
Go there.
Ecclesiastes 31 and verse 25. Show not. Ecclesiastes 31 and 25.
Go ahead.
Show not thy valiantness in wine. Valiantness in wine. For wine hath destroyed many.
Right. So this is telling you, you can't, when you start to drink and over excess, you start to get that liquid courage, and now you start to show your butt. And it's showing you the end result in doing it.
Where is it?
So now that you're over drinking, now you're showing off. And then when you show off, you're going to make a mockery of yourself and of others. And now you're going to end up the next day apologizing to everyone. Why? Because you acted a fool because you overdrank.
Right. Go. Where's that at, Ak?
Ecclesiastes chapter 31 and verse 29.
Right. It's down. Come on. Go ahead. Read that.
Verse 29.
Go ahead.
But wine drunken with excess maketh bitterness of the mind.
Right. And that's what these influences do. They cause more of a bitterness. So now you think about that. You're supposed to be a leader. You're supposed to be a teacher. You're supposed to be guiding, right? But now you're given to more wine. You become more bitter, more angry. You're not going to deal with nobody's problems, nobody's issues. Why? Because you got issues of your own. You become bitter in your brain. So you start to say things like, wow, how am I going to deal with them when I got my own problems? But that's the position you took. You know what I mean? You see why a lot of these so-called, and I'm not even going to say camp leaders, like these cats, stragglers, they just, well, you know what? I'm done with this. One minute they're supposed to be a teacher, and the next minute they just abandon it. Abandon their duty. Why do they do that? Because there's no standard. They haven't fought for that. They haven't fought for these characteristics in Timothy 3. So now when they get something and it's put in their hand, what do? It's not important. It's not important anymore because they don't have no value in what they're doing. When you start to give up things and lose things and let go of things, then you start to see the value in it, right? Yeah, when you have to give up and you have to give up a lot of things, and then you're building, you're like, man, I done gave up, I done built, I done did this with blood, sweat, and tears. Well, why is that not happening now? You don't got to give up nothing to be a teacher nowadays. I don't have to do it. All I have to do is watch a few YouTubes, right? Get it under my belt. Start yelling at white people, right? Make me a nice t-shirt, right? And then do what? Throw a few debates, and now I could be a teacher. But all these qualities in Timothy 3, I never lived up to. That's why they start to implode. Go ahead, read on.
With brawling.
With what?
Brawling.
Right. See, you start to fight. Now, I didn't want to go into the fighting aspect because the next point in Timothy 3 we're going to be going over is brawlers. Right? But this is where that liquor gets you to. Now, if you're a priest and all you're doing is arguing and fighting, and your solution is to always battle somebody, that's not the example of Yahawashi. It will never be the example. I don't care how many of these monkeys get online and do it. It doesn't matter. It's like every time you read through the scriptures, you never look at that. They weren't on there just fight. Yahawashi was not fighting everybody. Paul, you never read about these things. Right? Everything wasn't always a battle. The only ones that was fighting was really the opposition. They were fighting. They were trying to get Christ. Christ still wasn't fighting because he knew it wasn't his time. For some reason, Brothers got it in their mind that it's their time. Why? How is it your time to fight when Yahweh Shai, he said, wait for him to come? So this is what that liquor does. It gets you brawling. You can't even deal right at home. You got to fight with your woman all the time. Y'all know who you are, man. You got to see that this is an error. Go ahead.
And quarreling.
And what?
Quarreling.
And what?
Quarreling.
Now you arguing about everything. Read.
Drunkenness.
What?
Drunkenness.
Read.
Increaseth the rage of a fool.
Yeah, and then you show how foolish you are because all you are is motivated by drinking. So this is why the Most High said a bishop cannot be given to wine. Y'all got that?
Right.
Go from there. Let's finish this up. Go to the Ecclesiastes 10 and 17. Ecclesiastes 10 and 17.
Con.
Go ahead, read that.
Ecclesiastes 10 and 17.
Go ahead.
But art thou, O land, when thy king is the son of nobles,
Go ahead.
and thy princes eat in due season,
Read.
for strength.
Stop. For strength. That's what we supposed to be built in. Strength. That's when you're going to be looked at as a noble, as a king, with strength. Now, where do you get the strength from? Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Read.
And not for drunkenness.
And not for what?
For drunkenness.
And not for drunkenness. You're not prestige. I don't give a damn if you're a noble or king. When you lock into that liquor, you come down to being and acting like a peasant, a fool, a brutish man. And that's what the Most High is trying to stop us from being. All these priests, all this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, but you can't use it. You can't use it to solve your problems. You can't use it to fix things around you. And that's what the Bible is supposed to be here for. That's what the knowledge is supposed to be here for. Those things are supposed to fix your problem. Right? Not the liquor. And what I was trying to hold AHRAYAH back from going into. That those things weren't supposed to be your strength. Y'all got to see this. And if you didn't learn this at a young age, come on, that's the first and foremost commandment. Thou shalt have no other gods before you. Well, how come you don't know that? Oh, it ain't your God. But, okay, then quit drinking. Oh, well, I don't have to quit drinking. Well, if it's not your God and it don't got so much power for you, just quit it. Right? Every time you talk to a junkie, right? Tell them to quit. What happens? They got an excuse why they don't need to, right? Go from there. Go to Proverbs 18 and 10. So the Most High is supposed to be the one and only power. Not the liquor, not the drinking. Read that. Proverbs.
Chapter 18 and verse 10.
You got to yell back there.
The name of the Lord is a strong tower.
Right. The name of the Most High was supposed to be the strength. The strong tower. The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding was supposed to be the way you guided yourself through life, through your issues, through your problems. Go ahead.
The righteous runneth into it and is safe.
The righteous what?
Runneth into it.
Go ahead.
And is safe.
The Most High said you were supposed to be running to His name. Not to the blunt. Not to the 40 ounce. Not to the pills. That was supposed to be the strength, man. Not the mocker, what is going to make you look like a fool. But isn't this the problem with a lot of brothers and sisters? They don't know how to relieve that pain and suffering. They don't know how to relieve the issues they got. Why? Because they're not putting the Most High first, the commandments first, the law first. I'll say it again. And when you ought to need be teachers, you had need someone teach you again. You can't even heal your own self. Yahweh Shai is the strength. The Most High is the comfort. Go ahead.
The name of the Lord is a... Wait.
You read that. Go to Psalm 46 and 1. Psalm 46 and 1. Read.
Psalm 46 and 1. The Most High is our refuge.
Right?
And strength. And very present help in trouble.
Right. So what is it saying to us? What are we learning? Somebody take me down this path. What?
That instead of running to the alcohol or all these vices that we have to relieve our pain and suffering, that we're supposed to be running to the Most High.
But is this not the principles of the doctrine? What you just said there, is that not the most basic thing? That when you came in the truth, that you were supposed to learn, that you weren't supposed to have no other gods before you? So, but why is this hard with brothers? Why is their vice more powerful than the duty in the office, in the service? What?
Because a lot of people don't have the patience to understand or to allow it to work.
That's not it.
Or don't have the, don't want to listen and allow it to work.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
A lot of people just don't have the patience or the faith to allow the Most High to work in their life.
Right. The Most High, they don't have the patience. They don't have the faith. They don't know what it's going to take to build them to the next level. They don't know that being broke down and being builded up is strength. Right? A lot of times you got to look in the mirror and realize that you are garbage. But Yahweh Shai is going to make you great. A lot of people don't want to admit to that. I'm trash. Right? You still want to put up the facade. And that's why you can't overcome a lot of these vices and a lot of these situations, man. Go ahead.
Verse 2.
Oh, read down.
Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea.
Right. A lot of this fear comes from you not putting the Most High first. And that's why all these things are swaying you, beating you down, your anxieties. Because why do you drink? Why do you do these drugs? Why do you do these vices? Because you think there's no other refuge. My refuge is the disguise. The disguise of the pain. So you like the white man, you're going to give pills to disguise the pain instead of healing it. But you don't understand. You were supposed to be running, getting closer to the Most High, and you'd be covered. Read.
Though the waters therefore roar and be troubled,
right?
Through the mountains, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof, there is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of the Most High.
Right.
The holy place of the tabernacle of the Most High. The Most High is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. The Most High shall help her. And that right early.
Right, and that's where our confidence was supposed to be. The Most High was going to be there. He was going to help. He was going to be the strength. I'm going to say it again. It's basic. It's the principle of the doctrine. But for some reason, when it comes to that liquor, the drugs, when it comes to you putting the Most High first, you got 75 excuses. You got a million excuses why not to give up and let go. Some of y'all just need to quit. Straight up. Forget a fast. You just need to quit. I don't drink no more. Yeah, that had me. You got to do like You can't do like, I'm going to go to rehab. And rehab for Israelites is, I'm going to fast for 3 months, go right after the fast and start drinking more belligerently. Nah, you got to quit. Yeah, Mateo. You're going to have to talk real loud.
Before I came to the truth, I smoked weed for like 10 years straight, like 5 blunts of the face.
Right?
The day I came in was the last day I smoked weed, and I've been sober ever since.
So you gave it up like that.
Like that. And I never thought I could do it, but I've been sober.
There's a lot of brothers and sisters that have. You know what I mean? I guarantee you probably everybody in here, except for the babies and Tiano. Maybe I'm a one. I'm a one. Have you ever tasted the devil's lettuce? Huh? The devil's cabbage?
Maybe. No.
Before, back in the days, see? So everybody in here is ex-damn weed heads, man. Right? You mess with the devil's lettuce, and some of y'all went deeper. Right? Deeper into that realm. So watch now. Have you ever messed with the devil's lettuce? No drugs. You were a drinker. You weren't even a drinker. So she had different vices. It was a salsa queen. Right? But, and listen, if it's not the drugs, if it's not the pills, if it's not the devil's lettuce, you know what I mean? It's what? It's something else. And we had to overcome it. But the point is here, see, what that Psalms was about was trying to show brothers and sisters that your comfort was supposed to be in the Most High. It's not supposed to be in, we're at the same place. Where you there? Where you at? Okay, boom, that's where we going to. Me and you, baby. I can feel him over here on me. Right. You were supposed to know that it was the Most High was my confidence and my strength. You know what I mean? So where you at, AHRAYAH?
2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 3 and verse 4.
Come. That one in Psalms? What?
Psalm 46 and 1.
That's the one I pulled, right?
Come.
Go ahead.
That was a good one.
2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 3. Blessed be the Most High, even the Father of our Lord Yahushua, the Father of mercies, and the power of all comfort.
Oh, wait a minute. Read that last part again.
And the power of all comfort.
So it wasn't talking about the Bible.
And the power of all comfort.
Was it the PlayStation? The anime?
And the Most High of all comfort.
The Most High is the end all and be all of all comfort. That's what gives you, that's what woos you from your sorrows. That's what rubs you on the back of your back
that's right.
and tells you, it's going to be all right, my son. It's going to be all right, my daughter. That's what's going to comfort you in the day of your tribulation. Read on.
Who comforted us in all our tribulation.
Wait a minute. No, it was the new Miles Morales Spider-Man game that comforted me.
Who comforted us in all our tribulation.
No, it was the Coca-Cola, and it was the
you put the Coke and then the lime, and the coconut in the lime,
and then you twist it.
Right?
That was the sauce.
Right? You put the cognac in there. You know what I mean? Then you walk through the mall. What happened? You know what I mean? You put the gin in the juice. You walk through the mall, get a little faded. Right?
Oh yeah. That's not what's going to comfort you. If anything, that's just going to make you more angry. Because then you're going to see a bunch of stuff that you don't have. You're going to see how you're still oppressed. So where are you going to get this comfort from? Because you start off drinking, you started off happy, but by the end of the bottle, you're ready to kill somebody. Why? That's not comfort.
Now, once again, because remember the point we're on. Is this not the principles of what a bishop should already know? So by the time you become a teacher, if you don't know that your comfort, your strength, your covering was supposed to be the Spirit, there's something wrong. There's something that you lacked. So this is what we're trying to show brothers and sisters about why brothers, sisters, women, men are given to the liquor, given to drugs, why they're given to wine. That's going to hold you back, man. That's going to stunt your growth. Well, just to add to that one, the 2 Corinthians, go to 2 Corinthians 7, and you're going to start at verse 6.
2 Corinthians 7 and verse 6. Nevertheless, the Most High that comfort those that are cast down.
That's who and how you were supposed to get your strength. You feel sad? Go to the Most High. Knock, and the door shall be open. Ask, and ye shall receive. Right? But the problem is, you're knocking, and the Most High is like, hold on a minute. And you're like, well, but I'm knocking. See, the brother told me to knock. The scriptures say knock, but he ain't opened the door. Because you got to be patient. Are you going to wait on the Most High? Because he'll have your ass waiting a long time. Are you going to wait for him, or are you going to jump the gun? Bump this. I'm going to go do it my way. Keep knocking. That shows where your heart is. Right? Go ahead.
Because your end result is, like the scripture says, those who wait on the Most High, he's going to renew their strength.
Right.
Your end result, when you do wait on the Most High, as he finally comes through, you will get the comfort that's unspeakable, that can't be compared with this.
Right. It's a peace. It's an ease. Watch. Finish this. Go ahead.
Comforted us by the coming of Titus.
Go ahead.
And not by his coming only.
Go ahead.
But by the consolation wherewith he was confident in you.
Right. He said not just by Titus, but remember what Titus was dropping. What was he bringing? That's what it was about. Right? Read on.
When he told us your earnest desire.
Right. So listen, we're not going to go into that. It's going to jump. All right. So go from there. Go to Matthew 11:29. Let's go further into this point. So your outlet, the way to release was supposed to be in the spirit. Because that's what liquor's about, right? I need a release. Oh, man. I need to chill out, man. You light up the cools, you know what I mean? Right? Stinky breath. Right? You pop you a bottle, you know what, man? Because you gotta have the drink. You know how they always say I only smoke when I drink.
And I only drink when I smoke.
I only drink when I smoke, right? So you gotta have the Coors 100 with a nice bottle of, you know what I mean? Whatever.
No, it's a Newport 100.
It's a Newports. But that wasn't your strength. That's not what you were supposed to be running to, man. Matthew 11:29.
Matthew 11 verse 29.
Go and learn of me.
Wait. Go ahead, Ma. Read loud.
Take my yoke upon you
Uh-huh.
and learn of me.
It says, take my yoke. Take my yoke. You were supposed to be running and taking on the burden of the Most High. You were supposed to be coming under his yoke, his covering. Go ahead.
For I am meek and lowly in heart.
Go ahead.
And ye shall find rest upon your souls.
Listen, the ease was to come under the yoke of the Most High. And every time I go over the scripture, I say the same thing. Yes, you were supposed to let go of the yoke of the world, the burden of the world, and take on the burden of Yahushua, because that was going to bring the ease to you. That's where the peace of mind is going to come in. And that's what a bishop was supposed to be learning. He was supposed to already got that. He was learning that as a soldier. That way, when he became an officer, an actual leader, he believed what he was teaching and saying to the younger men. If he's a soldier and he doesn't believe these concepts, then when he becomes an officer, his relaying of the message is going to fall flat because he don't believe in it. You're going to see a glitch because he really or she doesn't believe in it. That's why a lot of y'all don't open up your mouths, because you still second questioning and guessing instead of being confident in what you believe in. Right? Go ahead, read on.
For my yoke is easy,
Uh-huh.
and my burden is light.
He said, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. But this is what was supposed to relieve you. Oh, man. Instead of going and relieving through liquor, drugs, through sex, through some whack music, you were supposed to go do what? Study. What did Christ say? My bread is to do the will of the Father. Why, how come that ain't your bread? How come it don't satisfy you the same way? Think about that. And think, if you're a leader, this had to happen at the beginning stage. You had to be satisfied through the wisdom. Like when I look at young brothers, man, that are really, really trying to do the right thing, they're satisfied through the wisdom. They get excited off of this, off of the word, off of studying, off of learning. Not off of food. Those you ain't gonna see them excited over food. Yeah, nah, you're not gonna see. You don't never see me get excited over a burger or over food. Why? Because the Spirit excites me. I don't want to portray to you that food is more exciting than the Spirit. Liquor is more exciting. Drinking is more exciting. Woo! Like, oh man, feast time, now I get to pour up. Nah, that ain't exciting. When we on the phone, the excitement is in where?
Conversation, the Spirit.
It's in conversation in the Word. That's exciting. Not in some liquor or food, or going to hang out in some fake ass some place. It's about us. It's about brotherhood. It's about unity. It's about what we're doing together. Go from there. Go to 2 Esdras 16:76.
2 Esdras 16 and verse 76.
No. I'm sorry. That's wrong. That's wrong. Go to Isaiah 26:3. Sorry about that. Go to Isaiah 26:3.
Isaiah 26 and verse 3.
Uh-huh.
Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace.
Well, who is he going to keep in perfect peace? The brother, the sister that put that burden on them, that fled to Yahushua. That's the only way we going to get in ease. Y'all see that? He's the comfort. He's the one that lightens the burden off of us. You feel that pressure build up in your head? Well, you were supposed to be doing maintenance. Little by little, poking that with the wisdom. Casting down all imagination. That's the pen that's letting out the pressure out of the balloon. The word, casting down the imagination and the vain thoughts. Right? So now I can be prepared when I become a bishop. I can be prepared when I become an elder woman. And I can really know what the hell I believe in. You see why they always say religious people are whack, fake, phony? Because a lot of them move and they don't even believe in what they believe in. They don't. It's like, bro, you said you were Israelite. How come you ain't excited no more? Why? What's happened to all the excitement, right? Christ is black. We finna destroy Esau. The white man's gonna lick the bottom of our toes. Right? Why are you not excited no more? What?
Because once they start having to deal with themselves and change things of themselves, people lose interest.
They want to run now.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we start talking about the inward man in these classes, these classes don't get airplay. We had to be up here cursing out some elders or debating with somebody else. But they don't want to hear, you don't got no damn right running your mouth if you ain't living up to the standard. But that's what you see online. You see the madness. Listen, I'll say it again, and the whole time I've been going over this subject, I've said it. None of us is perfect, but damn, you just gonna put all your foolery on display? You're gonna make it seem like it's okay? It's a difference between things happening, right? Things happen. There's no school that's perfect. Drama comes. And I'll be the first to say that. It's in our school, right? There's always some drama. But it's in every school. But to promote it and to make it seem like that's the Israelite way, the drama is what we do, that's ill. We got to see that, man. So once again, back to the point, the standard, what our strength is supposed to be on, was supposed to be the mind of the Most High. That's going to make you confident. That's going to release the spirits and the anguish and the pain and the suffering and the doubts. That's going to release those demons off of you. Go ahead. So read that Isaiah 21. We got some online?
Yeah, just on what you said, Bakar Gabar said, I've heard brothers try to defend drinking and teaching by saying wine was a part of the Sabbath service.
What the hell? Wine was a wine. So now we like, even in the Christian, even in Catholic Church, you don't even see that. Even if they did drink wine up there, are they like this? Do they do this? Or do they do this? Sit there and just, yeah. What the hell? That's insane. Even if it was a part of the Passover ceremony, right? Because that's when we did it. When did we do it? When we feast. It said wine is for feasting. It wasn't part of the Sabbath ceremony. You never read about that, because if that was the case, then the Levitical priests would be wrong then, because he gave them the law and said, don't drink wine entering the inner court. So which one is it? You see that? The law said one thing. Where the hell are they getting that from? Well, you had your hand raised, sis.
Oh, in the Catholic Church they do wine, but it's like a sip when they're giving you the bread and the blood.
I know. But imagine the Catholic priest up there just sitting there just taking a jug of the whole wine. You'd be like, what the hell? Even if it was that. Now, we just read it wasn't, that the priests weren't to drink in there, right? You think they was just sitting up there drinking a whole damn thing of cognac on the podium? Teaching the word? That's against the scriptures, man. But this is the problem. What else was on there? Come on, let me finish this up. We got something else? Anything else on there?
Just more comments.
Okay, go ahead, read on. Isaiah 23, 26 and 3 and 4. Go ahead.
Thou shalt keep him in perfect peace.
Read.
Whose mind is stayed on thee.
Read.
Because he trusted in thee.
Right.
Trust ye in the Lord forever.
Right.
For in the Lord, Yahweh is everlasting strength.
Right. Yahweh is the strength, not wine, not liquor, not pills, not any vice or drug. It was the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Y'all get that, right? Go to Ecclesiasticus 15 and 4. And that'll be the last one on that.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 15 and verse 4. For neither did the mischievous invention of men.
Wait.
Oh, yeah, I'm at the wrong slide.
Oh, okay. Wait.
Ecclesiasticus 15 and verse 4. He shall be stayed upon it, and shall not be moved.
Right. When your mind is locked into the wisdom, into the Most High, you're not going to be moved. Your thoughts will not be moved. That is where the peace comes from. it does not come from the any carnal thing. The scriptures say to be carnally minded is death.
That's right.
Y'all know that, right? So how do you ever think a carnal thing is going to solve your issues? But I'm glad that Bakar said that. And that's exactly why my first scripture was in the law. That's exactly why the first scripture we went over was Leviticus 10 and 9 and Ezekiel 44:21. Because that's what they do. When the scripture explicitly tells you for the priest not to go drink in the sanctuary. Go ahead, read on.
And shall rely upon her. And shall not be confounded.
See, if you rely on wisdom, you will not be confounded. If you rely on the Spirit, not the drink. Read.
She shall exalt him above his neighbor.
You got to understand, it's the wisdom, it's the Spirit. That's what's going to lift you up. That's what's going to bring you out of the dunghill, the low estate. It's not liquor, man. It's not liquor. It's not pills. It's not drugs. So I'm hoping y'all understand why it said that a bishop wasn't supposed to be given to wine. These are the reasons. These are the facts that are put before you. All right, y'all got any questions on that?
Nah.
All right, so the next one we will be hitting on when we, right. Oh yeah, we definitely got to go into that one. A bishop is not supposed to be a striker. We're going to touch on all that. Oh, did we? Yeah, but kind of, I'll tell you. That's the reason why. All right, the next one we're going to go into is that striker. So did anybody have any questions on that? On the topic, off the topic, anything online? We'll wait a few seconds. Remember, it is the Shabbat. Brothers and sisters, keep all the foolery. If any day you don't want to argue and get into a dispute with your rib or anybody, today's the day. Y'all say that for another day. Be at peace today. All right? Do we got any announcements? Any grievances, gripes? Anyone need to be brought up on trial? Huh? Did I offend anyone? We got to start doing that again after classes. Did I offend you and I need to amend at this point in front of the holy congregation? Speak now. All right? I'm serious. If not, we're just waiting to see if anybody got any questions online. So y'all down, right? Y'all here? Y'all out here? All right. The beach, the sands, the sandy beach will be deceptive. Nothing online? Okay, let's salute them. Everybody say shalom. Shalom.
The scepter would never leave Judah. The scepter would never leave Judah. The scepter would never leave Judah. I'm Judah. Christ sprang out of Judah. King David was Judah. King Asa was Judah. Don't crowd me up. Who gon' rouse me up? Alistair Crowley, your time is up. It's a big mess. I gotta clean it up.